Welcome back to Cheddar's opening bell. As summer nears its start, parents face the daunting task of keeping kids entertained. Some families typically turn to summer camps, but this year many camps have decided to stay closed because of concerns about coronavirus. At least one sleepaway camp, though, is planning to welcome campers this summer. Joining us now is Jay Jacobs, CEO of TLC Family of Camps, which runs several sleepaway and day camps in the Northeast. Jay, thank you so much for joining us. First off, are you planning to open all of your camps this summer, and how did you come to that decision?
Yes, we are. As long as the governors of the states, New York and Pennsylvania say that it's okay, we will be open. And I came to that conclusion based upon our belief that we can keep our children and our staff safe in our camps. And I think that they're frankly safer than if they just stay home and, with the exception of being locked up in the house, are able to go out and about. I think that we can keep children safer in our camp environment. So that's why we made that decision.
Can you walk us through some of the specific safety measures that are being put in place? We understand you do plan on using mass testing ahead of the start of camp. Is that just for the sleepaway camps?
No, no, that's for all of them. First, understand something. If we were in our country, in our state, where we were a month ago, we couldn't think of opening. Because just in using New York as an example, on April the 14th, we had 11,800 plus new cases of COVID-19 that day in the state of New York. Yesterday, it was about 1,300. It's been going down every day, just about. And we expect that by the end of this month, it'll be in the mid 100s. And what that means in a state of 19,450,000 people, just to give you a sense of it, is if the numbers go down really low, you don't get coronavirus from being bit by a mosquito. You have to be in touch or in contact with somebody, in proximity to somebody who has it. The fewer and fewer people who actually have it, the fewer you can get it from, and that creates a little bit more safety. You then lay over that testing so that every child, every camper that is, and every staff member before camp starts needs to be tested and test negative in order to get into your camp. And then, particularly for the sleepaway camps, we test again once they get there, just to be doubly sure, because testing is not 100% accurate. So the statistics of it lead us to believe that we can keep children safe during the summer in camp.
Let's talk about sleepaway camp. I went to Tyler Hill, actually, one of your camps,
Okay,
myself.
great.
And I know camp by its nature, there's tight quarters, right? You're basically sleeping in a bunk a few feet away from
Right.
somebody else. You play contact sports. You eat shoulder to shoulder in the dining hall. Is any type of social distancing realistic, or do you just not need that if everybody tests negative?
Yeah. Well, that's the point. First of all, think of your own home. People in their own home, families of four or five, they're not socially distant. They're not wearing masks at the dinner table. Why? Because they know that everybody in their home is COVID free. So if you go up to camp and we create a big family by number one, pre-testing you and then retesting you, making sure nobody leaves and nobody comes in, or anybody that maybe we have a handful of workers that come in to do maintenance, grounds and what have you, they're all tested as well. And they're coming from areas that don't have COVID to begin with, which the rural areas don't. So we're keeping our area safe, then you don't have to do the social distancing. The other thing I will tell you is a lot of places that are doing social distancing are doing it because they have no gate at the door, if you will, to stop it from coming in. So what you have to do in that circumstance is to protect yourself from a major outbreak. So that's why you have cohorts of 50 or small groups required. In our case, while we will be mindful and hold most of our activities outdoors, the sunlight kills COVID, chlorinated pools kill COVID. We'll be doing a lot of that. I would say that overall, we're a lot more comfortable with the concept of creating the protected environment so that you don't have to have such limitations or so great a limitation on your activities.
All that said, what is the plan if someone does get this virus at camp?
Well, of course, again, we have to have plans for that, and we do. And we are making sure that we have in-camp testing available so that we're checking campers who have symptoms. Anyone who has two or more symptoms are going to will be checked immediately. Campers or staff, we're checking temperature and all the rest of it. Should it happen that somebody tests positive, they will be isolated immediately. Parents will pick them up and take them home. We will test everybody in their bunk and in their division, the larger group. And then we will retest them until we're sure that nobody else has caught it. Typically, you can catch COVID from somebody asymptomatic. But as we've been reading, CDC just came out with a new statement yesterday that people are not getting COVID-19 for the most part by touching surfaces. That's not really where you get it. Of course, somebody sneezes on a doorknob and they've got COVID and you touch the doorknob, yeah. But you've got to have a certain amount of viral load. And you're not going to get it from the surfaces as much. And we'll be disinfecting and sanitizing every day, multiple times. We'll do all of that. But our sense is that even if somebody has COVID-19, with the measures we're taking, the spread will not be that great, and we can, through testing, isolate and determine immediately. And then, as I said, those people will have to leave camp, and their parents know that in advance. And I think that the likelihood of that is so minuscule that I really don't worry about it, but I'm prepared for it.
All right. Well, I'm sure a lot of campers and parents are very happy at the news that camp is staying open. Jay Jacobs, CEO of TLC Family of Camps. Great to have you on.